Okay. Have a
All right, good morning. We are on the record in the 53rd Circuit Court for the County of Sheboygan. We are providing public access both in the courtroom and also online. And we have Mr. Braden Freeman here with us from the Grand Traverse County Jail. Mr. Freeman, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. First off, we have a friend of the court child support matter. It's file 24-15002DP, a warrant for failing to appear and failing to pay child support. However, the friend of the court advises me this morning that given the criminal cases you have going on, at this point, they simply want to dismiss that show cause contempt for the child support matter. So, Mr. Ortiz, is that correct? And you submit a dismissal?
That's correct, Your Honor. Request a dismissal here today.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Freeman, on that child support matter here in Sheboygan County, Peters v. Freeman, that show cause is going to be dismissed and that warrant recalled then. And then we also have to arraign you on a bench warrant in file 21-6099FH, People v. Braden Freeman. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, please?
Melissa Goodrich, Sheboygan County Prosecutor.
Liz Elliott on behalf of Braden Freeman, who joins us via Zoom.
All right, Mr. Freeman, it's alleged that you are in contempt of court for failing to appear for your sentencing back in 2021. And it looks like we also needed to still do a pre-sentence report before we could sentence you on that case. You have the right to have a hearing on that allegation where your contempt for non-appearance would have to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to the assistance of a lawyer at that hearing and to present any evidence in your own defense, cross-examine any of the witnesses presented against you. If I find you to be in contempt, I could jail you for up to 93 days and or fine you for up to $7,500. I also want to tell you, Mr. Freeman, that I have been advised by the attorneys here this morning that the prosecuting attorney's office has issued a charge against you for felony absconding a bond for your failing to appear. I'm not handling that right now because it's got to go through the district court first and you've got all the rights to a prelim and all that. I just wanted to let you know that today because I wouldn't want you to admit to a contempt for failing to appear. That may subject you to felony exposure in the absconding.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. So with that, Ms. Elliott, do you want us to set this for a hearing then?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Freeman, what I'm going to do is schedule this for a contempt hearing and also a sentencing on the underlying case. And you'll have to cooperate with the pre-sentence interview. So we'll set it out long enough for that to happen. What is it you have going on in Grand Traverse County? Are you serving a sentence there, or what's your deal in Grand Traverse?
I'm fighting a case.
He's set for a trial in July on charges out of Grand Traverse County.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, well, let's set this out for a sentencing. And has he requested signed counsel? Does he qualify?
Yes, he does. He does qualify, Your Honor, and that's going to be Mr. Nightingale going forward.
Okay, so let's schedule this for a contempt hearing and sentencing on March 3rd at 10 a.m. And that'll give us time to get a pre-sentence report done, to give you time to talk to your new attorney here, Mr. Nightingale, and also find out what's going on with this new charge and whether there's any way to wrap it all up together or not. And as to any release, Ms. Goodrich?
Your Honor, I would deny any bond. He does have pending CSE cases in both Otsego County and Grand Traverse County and was gone from our court since July of 2021.
Okay, Ms. Elliott, you wish to be heard on that?
He's being held in Grand Traverse County, so I don't
Okay.
think he would be able to bond out anyway.
Okay, so we'll enter an order that we're revoking any release And Mr. Freeman will be held without release until further order of this court, so that if something does happen and he posts in Grand Traverse County, there'd be a hold on him over here. All right, Mr. Freeman, sounds like the case I've got you here on, a buprenorphine case, is not really your biggest problem right now, but we'll deal with that in March and get you sentenced on that, all right?
All right, thank you.
Okay, you have a good day.
You too.
All right, up next, we've got People versus Nicholas Hilliker, file 25-7076FH. Counsel, please state your appearances, beginning with People.
Melissa Goodrich, Wayne County Prosecutor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Scott Grable, P50, on behalf of Mr. Hilliker.
All right, Mr. Hilliker's appearing from the Sheboygan County Jail. Mr. Grable's appearing by Zoom video. Let me know if you need a breakout room at any time.
Thank you,
And I
Judge.
apologize, we're getting a little bit of an echo here. I'm not sure if it's affecting your experience on your end. We haven't had that problem in a while, but it seems to have reared its head.
No issue.
We are here for a docket call and also a contempt sentencing that we had continued. Where are we at in terms of the docket call and the underlying case, Mr. Grable?
There's been some communications with Ms. Goodrich, Your Honor. I think at this point, she indicated to me, and I just found out actually today, I think she's indicating there's some outstanding investigation unrelated to this. There was some discovery for recovery court judge. I think pending I guess, some more information on that case. I don't think there's an offer tentatively at that case, but from what I got from the communication from Ms. Goodrich in her office, that may affect whether recovery court is something that may be offered or not. So that's what I would say the status of the case is. I guess we would probably move it forward, or with your acquiescence and Ms. Goodrich, schedule another docket call on that. But that's my understanding.
Okay, so Ms. Goodrich, you're I guess waiting to see. I know last time we were in court, there was some search warrants being executed from another county's investigation, and so you want information about what the results of that were before moving forward on this then?
Yes, that would help us resolve this.
Okay. All right. Well, I have no problem then. I mean, that's an unusual set of facts there, so we can continue this docket call so that you and Ms. Goodrich can have that information. I could continue this, say, to February 10. Are you available that day, Mr. Grable?
Yes, I am, Judge. Absolutely.
We could do February 10 at 1:30.
That's not an issue, Judge. I'm writing it in right now. And Zoom is okay, with the court?
Yes. Yes, that'd be fine. So we'll do a docket call. So February 10 at 1:30 in the afternoon. Zoom appearances will be authorized, and I'll continue the bond violation sentencing to the same date and time, just so that we don't lock in what we're doing on that. Any objection to that, Mr. Grable?
Obviously, if the court didn't want me to advocate for it, I don't want to waste the court's time. I was going to ask for sentencing with bond reconsideration with a home confinement, but if the court is not comfortable with that, that's what I was going to advocate. Obviously, I defer to the court if the court doesn't feel comfortable with even hearing argument.
Yeah, I guess I'd rather wait too to see, what in the world was going on with that other investigation and other charges and before we go forward on that.
I understand, Your Honor. Would it be all right, Your Honor? I know the court has to move on to other matters. Could I have a breakout room with Mr. Hilliker just to discuss, obviously, some of the events of today, even though I think we're on the same page, because I have you on already and him on if that. And then obviously, I won't need to go back on the record unless Ms. Goodrich wants to put something else on the record. I have nothing else to put on the record.
Okay, well, that's fine. So Mr. Hilliker, I'm going to create a breakout room for you to talk with Mr. Grable confidentially. And as soon as you're done, you can just leave the meeting. We won't come back on the record for you, okay?
Not a problem. Thank you, Judge.
All right, good afternoon. We are on the record in the 53rd Circuit Court for the County of Sheboygan. We are providing public access both in the courtroom and also online. Beginning our afternoon docket, we've got People v. Jeremy Wright. It's file 25-7077FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearances beginning with People?
Melissa Goodrich, Wayne County Prosecutor.
Brian Klein, on behalf of Jeremy Wright, says counsel right for purposes of jury status conference, Your Honor.
All right, and good afternoon. So we are here for a docket call here, and what's our status, Mr. Klein?
So Ms. Goodrich and I were talking about this case. I had a meeting with Mr. Wright earlier, without putting too much detail into it. We're working on a couple different offers. And what we're asking the court, I became aware that you have another docket day next Tuesday, a week from today.
Yes.
And I was wondering if I could have this continued to then. Hopefully we'll have a resolution at that time.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, yeah, we can continue this to next week at 1 p.m. All right, anything further from the defense?
No.
From the people?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see you next week, Mr. Wright.
And Morgan. Okay. All right. There you go.
Then I have Mr. Michael Delaney zooming in.
Right, that's correct.
All right, Mr. Delaney, can you hear us?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, People v. Michael Delaney, file 25-7080FH. Mr. Delaney is appearing by Zoom video. His attorney is here in the courtroom, Mr. Klain. Mr. Klain, what's our status here for docket call?
Thank you, Your Honor. The court may remember, may not remember. We were kind of tracking this case along with a case that barely preceded this in Shiawassee County. The Shiawassee County case, we were tracking because it was scheduled for a trial, but I became aware just this week that the status of that case now is that it was remanded to district court for a plea to an attempted resisting obstructing a police officer. And talking to Ms. Goodrich, because I believe his sentencing is scheduled for February 7th, we're going to ask the court to adjourn the docket call because the belief is, and at least my belief is, that if he gets probation in Shiawassee County, he lives in Shiawassee County, it might help to resolve this case.
Correct, Ms. Goodrich?
Yes, I would like the information, what happens in that case, to take to the victim and discuss resolution for this case. The sentencing is February 17th, so that's why we're asking for that.
I said February 7th. I just spoke.
So you're asking for me to put it out to the March 3rd date then?
Oh, there's a March 3rd, yes.
March 3rd, would that work?
No, I'm gonna be in Portugal. But I thought I said March 10th.
Yes, I didn't
Oh,
have
March
March
10th,
3rd. I'll
okay.
have to correct my calendar.
All right, I can put it out to March 10 at 1:10 in the afternoon then.
And then Mr. Delaney, if you could let me know any information with regards to that sentence, is going to help us up here, okay?
Yes, Your, yep.
Excellent. Thank you, Michael.
Okay, and you requesting Zoom appearance for Mr. Delaney?
I mean, depending on, maybe we won't have to come back, but yeah, so that'd be fine.
All right, and any objection to that?
No, sir.
Okay, Zoom appearances be authorized. We'll see you on March 10th at 1:10 in the afternoon, Mr. Delaney.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mr. Kraft, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep. All right, we've got next, People v. Russell Kraft, file 25-6988FH. Counsel, please state your appearances.
Mr. Goodrich, Frank County Prosecutor.
William Q on behalf of Russell James Kraft, the defendant.
All right, we had set this for a status conference. We were awaiting reports from the forensic center. I see we did receive the report as to competency, and we're still awaiting a report as to criminal responsibility. Yeah, I assume you've received the competency report, Mr. Keel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection to the court's consideration of that report?
No,
Any additional proofs that the defense wished to submit on that question?
no, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich, any objection to the receipt of the report?
No objection.
Any additional proofs from the people?
No, Your Honor.
All right, based upon the findings of the forensic center, I would find Mr. Kraft competent to stand trial and enter an order to that effect. So we'll take the case off of our on hold status and put it back on track. But we are still, I imagine you want the criminal responsibility portion,
That's correct.
which seems to me is probably the more appropriate fit for the situation anyway. So what we'll do is we'll need to schedule this for docket call then. If you had any indication other than the letter we got from the forensic center as to when the report could be expected?
I don't, Judge. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's mean, you want me to put this out to the first call in March, and if we get the report sooner, you can just let us know?
Sure, Judge, I think that makes
Any
sense.
objection to that, Ms. Goodrich?
No objection.
Oh, so we'll schedule this for March 3rd at 1 p.m. And any objection to continued Zoom appearance for Mr. Kraft, Ms. Goodrich?
No objection.
What time did you have that on again, Judge?
1 p.m.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Kraft, we're still awaiting one more report from the center. So we're gonna next call your case on March 3rd at 1 p.m. and you can zoom in as you have been doing, sir, all right?
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Two files, 25-7029 FH and 7030 FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, please?
Melissa Goodrich, Wayne County Prosecutor.
And James Gilbert here on behalf of Mr. Foley, who's standing to my right.
All right, good afternoon. We're here for in 7029, a charge of possession of metallic knuckles, 5 years statutory max, guidelines 5 to 23 months. 7030 is harboring a felon, 4-year maximum, 5 to 23 months guidelines as well. You had a chance to review the report and recommendations?
We have, Your Honor, and we have no additions or corrections, other than on the front page that my client wanted to point out that you have his Ohio driver's license. I believe he has a Michigan one though.
Oh, okay. Agent Purvis, do you want to, is that something, if Mr. Foley has a Michigan driver's license now, is that something that your department would prefer on that basic information report? Okay, all right. Any scoring challenges?
There was no scoring challenges when I reviewed that, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich, any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges from the people?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gilbert, go ahead.
Your Honor, we'd ask that the court follow the plea agreement of no upfront jail. I know Mr. Foley's been on bond. He's done phenomenal. While on bond, took into consideration how well, when I was negotiating this with the prosecutor, I do know he's gainfully employed. His employer has, actually happens to be, I think he cooked my New Year's dinner, New Year's Eve dinner, because it's a establishment that my wife and I frequent often. And it's a nice restaurant, and we know the people that own the restaurant, and I received a letter from his employer just raving about what a good job he does there. And he's gainfully employed, he's respected by his employer, and I would ask the court to follow the recommendation. I think Mr. Foley has learned his lesson, and his other offenses, I represented him, were back in 2019. I believe those were a couple R&Os. But other than that, it's been a long stint since he's had any type of trouble. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Foley, you don't have to make a statement today, but you're welcome to. Is there anything you want to tell me or no?
Yes, Your Honor. I just apologize. It was just a terrible mistake. I wasn't really sure what was going on at first when they showed up, and it's been a long time since I've been in really kind of trouble. I know I have my past, which was terrible and stuff, which I've tried to put that behind me, but I've been living at my house for just about over 5 years. I'm working, and I just feel like if the recommendation would be great, without it, I think it would hurt me more than help me.
All right, Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I just ask that you follow the plea agreement. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, Mr. Foley, I mean, when the law is looking for somebody, the law wants the police to find that person, right? We build the legal system around certain principles, and one of them is people just can't hide to get away from their problems. So, the law is going to be on the side of the folks who are looking to find the person who needs to be found, right? That makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you stand in the way, now you catch a charge. So, and with your record, I hope you see that, your involvement here, these aren't extreme situations you're in. And the other one is possession of these knuckles. You can't have those. The law says you can't have those. A first-time offender comes in front of me, they're not looking at much at all, with the record that you've got. Look at these guidelines. I could give you 2 years in prison, and the Court of Appeals would just show a ho-hum. oh, I guess Mr. Foley went to prison, right? There'd be nothing that anybody could do about that, right? So you want to try to make sure, it sounds like you got some good things going, housing, job, so you not interfering when law enforcement, is involved in something. You just want to stay out of that situation, right? I think here, given, there's a plea agreement for no upfront jail, which is actually a downward departure from the guidelines. So I certainly understand the recommendation from the probation department. There's really no reason to put you on probation in this case, and they're not going to do it. So the question is, do we give you jail or do we just give you fines and costs? Really, that's what we're looking at. And I think given we haven't had bond issues, you've got some positive things going on in your life. This wasn't an extreme situation here. The other one, the possession, is sort of a technical violation. So I think on the whole, I'm going to go ahead and follow the plea agreement in this matter and do a downward departure and impose a fines and cost sentence. In 7029, it's $130 in the crime victims assessment, $68 in state costs, $350 in court costs, and the judgment of sentence will indicate that the weapons that were seized will be forfeited to the agency that seized them. In file 7030, there's $68 in state cost on $130 crime victims assessment. It's the sentence of the court in both matters. It's a downward departure in both files. The reason for the downward departure is the plea agreement. And Mr. Foley, if you wanted to appeal, you could file an application to the Court of Appeals. If you wanted a lawyer, you'd have to ask within 6 months. So we're going to hand you a piece of paper in both files about that. Ask you to initial one copy for us. Fill out the other one if you want to take an appeal. So you're not on probation to me. You need to pay those fines and costs to the clerk's office. If you can't do that today and you need to set up a payment plan, you can contact the circuit court office to set up a payment plan. All right, good luck.
All right, thank you, Ron.
This is file 25-7087 FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, please?
Melissa Goodrich, Wayne County Prosecutor.
And James Gilbert here on behalf of Mr. Hepner, who's standing to my right.
All right, Mr. Hepner, you look better not in orange. All right, so how are you going to stay not wearing orange from this day forward?
Do what I need to do.
There you go. All right. All right, Mr. Gilbert, we're here for a docket call. What's our status?
Your Honor, I did receive a plea agreement. My client and I have discussed it. This matter has not been resolved at this time. I do believe this is our first docket call.
Okay, well, let's come back. Any objection to continuation of the docket call to the February 3rd date?
No, Your Honor.
We'll continue it to February 3rd at 2:40 in the afternoon.